أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. Assalamu alaikum viewer and welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Psychology with Sajad Ahmad with a new class, History of Psychology and Contribution of the Muslim Philosopher to the Field of Psychology, mean the Muslim period. In the previous part of this class, we have studied about the Greek philosophers and we studied about the Thales, uh, Pythagoras, Empedocles, Democritus, Hippocrates, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. After that, we studied that the history of psychology is incomplete without the Greek philosopher. Why? Because they provided a foundation for the modern psychology and they help us in understanding the true nature of the man. They explain every aspect of life. Through the Greek period was pre-scientific period. Experimentation was not much common, but their explanations are still valid. Then the era between 400 to 8000 and the Europe are in the Western world are um, often referred to as the dark ages. But these dark ages are not only not only but these dark ages is in reference to that of the Western world. But that time in 400 AD till 1000 AD, this from the Muslim perspective was the glorious days of Islam, and Islam was the prominent and powerful force in the world. Muslim philosophers describe the principle of the life in the light of Quran and Sunnah. Why? Because Quran has a complete code of life and the solution of the all worldly problem is found in the religion Islam. Islam is the only religion which not only discuss the life hereafter but also describe the life, but also describe the uh, life and the problem of this world. So the Muslim philosophers work on every field and including the psychology. The first Muslim philosopher, which was born in 801, was Al-Kundi. Al-Kundi. Okay, let's start. Al-Kundi was an Arab philosopher. About God, he said, God is one. He has no matter, no form, and no species. He has absolutely oneness. Apart from Allah, everything else has multiple. As the Quran says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Mean that that Allah is one. Allahu Samad lam yalid wa lam yulad. And he is not born from anyone, nor no one is born from him. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. And not anyone else is like him. So Al-Kundi said that God has created this universe for some great purpose, and there is a cause and effect relationship between everything. About mind and body relationship, he says, mind and body are independent and are not related to each other. Mean, according to Al-Kundi, the mind works separately, independently from that of the body, and similarly, the body works independently without taking uh, any instruction from the body. So, uh, After that, Al-Razi, the man who was born in 864 and died in 924, he says human personality is influenced more by the environment than by the heredity. He was in favor of the environmental influence, and according to him, they in the development of a person of the personality of a person, environment play a very important role. There is a dynamic role of the parent and child relationship in the personality development. He says that the parent-child relationship uh, affect the personality of a child, the development of the personality of the child, and if there is a positive and a good relationship between a child and his parents, the relationship, this relationship will affect the personality of a person in a positive way, of the child in a positive way. But if there is a faulty parent-child relationship, this will lead to the mental disorder, because the cause of the mental disorder lies in in the relationship of the parent and the child. And also he says there is another, he discussed another cause. He gave another cause of the mental disorder, and he says that the cause of the mental disorder lies in the too much love for the material world. He says that body and mind are interrelated. Body and mind are interrelated. Um, why? Because he says that the physical illness can cause the mental disorder and vice versa. Then come Al-Farabi. Al-Farabi, 870 to 950 was his era. He was influenced by the Greek philosopher, and he says that man is a social animal. Both mind and body are not interrelated. So Al-Kundi and Al-Farabi was in favor of that body and mind are not interrelated, while Al-Razi says that body and mind are interrelated. Then come Ibn Maskawi. Ibn Maskawi, the person who was born in 945 and died in 1023, he says that there is the importance of the social life, importance of the social life, that the social life of a person affect his personality. If the person sits and has a good social life, that person will have a good personality, and a person, if he said in ill people, mentally ill people, this will affect the personality in a negative way. He also presented a theory of evolution, which was similar to that of the Darwin theory of evolution. Okay, about perception, he says that a perception takes place. Her perception takes place um, with the help of our sensation, with the help of our sensation. Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina, 980 to 1073, he said that every physical act has a psychological aspect also. And like Aristotle, he said, there is a close relationship between the mind and the body. If the mind sick, the body will also be sick, and vice versa. Then he says that a psychopathology is the psychopathology or the the psychological problem are happen due to the emotional status of the man, due to the emotional status of the man. So in psychopathology, he gave importance to the emotional status of the man. When we stop loving God, he further said, when we stop loving God, then we stop loving man, which result in prostration. Okay, Jalal-ud-din Rumi. If we make balance, he says, Jalal-ud-din Rumi says, if we make balance between the inner demand and the outer social demand, only then we can achieve a good state of the mind and better adjustment to the society. Better adjustment to the society. Al-Ghazali, 1058 to 1111 to 1111. He said he was the greatest Muslim psychologist of his time. Human individual, he said, human individual arrived to this world as a complex, multidimensional personality consisting of the diversity of attributes. And he says, closeness to the God result in normality, and distant from the God result in abnormality. Every mental faculty has a corresponding seat in the region of man. This is a very important point. So guys, remember this point, that he says that every mental faculty has corresponding seat in the region of the brain. Then he says, he presented a therapy which is named as a therapy of opposite. Therapy of opposite. And he says that for every thing, a negative thing can be removed by his opposite. For example, the hate could be covered by the love, and the ignorance could be covered by the ignorance. So ignorance is sickness and knowledge is cure. According to him, ignorance is sickness and knowledge is cure. It's cure. Okay. Now come the Shah waleullah. He was born in 702 and was died in 1763. He wrote many books. He deeply studied human mind and behavior and discovered the cause of mental disorder. Um, he said that conflict goes on between the positive and negative forces within human mind, and if we make a balance between these positive and negative forces, then we can develop a healthy personality, and healthy personality developed only by maintaining the balance between these two. So after that, goodbye and take care. Allah Hafiz. Pakistan Zindabad.